Okay. Welcome everybody to the project presentation meeting. This is the last step of the educational plan and your completion of the apprenticeship period in the Subspace Ambassador Program. And I can say on behalf on all Subspace Labs team that we really appreciated your help with the pre-stress test and really happy with your cohort in general. I think you guys have done a great job. And yeah, we have a lot of presenters and a little time. So let's get to the main point. The format of this meeting is really simple. We have 20 presenters, and each presenter will have up to 3 minutes. And then we'll maybe have a few minutes for questions and feedback, and then around 30 seconds to vote. Yeah, the vote link, I think we just share it in the chat. Yeah. And the project, oh, we have a lot of people here still joining. And the project is evaluated on several criteria. So how important the project is, how well it's done, and how it's presented. In other words, whenever you're inspired by projects or not. And the best projects will be presented at the first public community call next week. And this is the big deal because it will be public in our Discord with community members, with Subspace Lab members. So yeah, and yeah, I think I'll open the voting table right after this meeting, and you will know the best ones immediately after this meeting. Yeah. And overall, after the presentation, your mentors will meet you and evaluate your scores for each of the educational week. So this way, we will understand who will become an ambassador, and probably like results for the whole apprenticeship period will be available next week. Yeah, so this is the intro. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Otherwise, we'll get started. Yeah, wait, please.
So just to maybe clarify, is it correct to assume like everyone here is supposed to vote for every presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I assume like, as people go through the presentation, we just mark the number for each project, but then submit at the end of the process, correct?
Right, correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, let's get started with our first presenter. Jim, please.
Hi guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to try and present. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so my project was or is a method of monitoring the subspace node in Pharma, so we can see how it's doing. We can view the logs and we can kind of keep up with what's going on, looking at the text scrolling past. But this gives us a nice way of visualizing how it's working, whether everything is working okay. So there's a GitHub here. It's in the projects here. There's a GitHub project which you can clone. There's a bit of documentation. I'm not going to go into it too deep, but the important things are that we add a few new things using Docker. We keep our node and Pharma in a Docker compose. We've also got a Grafana, a Prometheus, and a node exporter component. We hook them all up, and we hook Prometheus up to the node, which has metrics being exposed on a port you can define. There's instructions here on how to clone the repository and set up the basics. I do want to make a convenient script where you just provide all your parameters, which will make things a bit more bit easier for users. There's a rundown of what the various screens are doing, a little explanation on what they do. Okay, so what does the project actually look like? Really, there's 5 files that are important, and that includes the Docker Compose that we already have. So you can see that we've got our node and our farmer, and we add in containers for Grafana, which is how we're visualizing via dashboards, we're visualizing the metrics. Prometheus, which is all about bringing together data sources and exposing them in a way that Grafana can understand. A node exporter, you may not be familiar with it, it's used to gather metrics on your hardware. So important files in here are the Prometheus Yml. So we've got some scrape configs here. You can see that we're collecting from the Subspace node. We're collecting, so we're listening to things like libp. We're listening to the Subspace specific metrics being exposed by the container on this port. We've then got node exporter, again hardware, and Prometheus allows us to draw all that together. So this is really kind of, this is one of the important files here. It's where we're stitching all the data sources together. We are then provisioning Grafana. We set up this file here. You can see it's in provisioning folder. It basically sets up a Prometheus endpoint, which really points to this config file here. This is pretty boring. This is just telling us how to provision. It's a Docker specific thing, so that when they bring this stack up for the first time, it hooks everything together. And then we've got a very boring looking JSON file here, which gives which specifies how each of the metrics we're collecting should be presented in the dashboard. So let's look at the exciting bit. So this is what the dashboard looks like. So this is one of my nodes here. We've kind of got instantaneous information here. I've slowed this guy down just so it doesn't try and refresh while I'm doing my presentation. But you've got various indications of resource usage on the top row here. Then we've got some stats coming from the Subspace node here, and there's a credit in the README to Alan Yoon from Discord, who came up with these graphs originally. I want to extend them, and I need to understand what some of these metrics mean to make. This is the version 0.1 of the dashboard, so hopefully we'll be able to evolve it as we go along. And then we've got this is quite interesting. So this is our sync process. Sync progress. So here you can see where we're syncing up to the chain head when we first start. So this was the stress test here. This was a restart after the stress test, but you can see we're catching up here, and then we're following the blocks as we go along. We've got some node exporter stats here. So how much CPU am I using? How much memory am I using? Information about network and disk usage. So IOPS usage, IO utilization. I've put in some. So this is a slightly beefier server, so we can see that this guy did sync from 0 very quickly, and he's been staying right on track the whole time. And then this is my poor Raspberry Pi, which is basically, I'm surprised it's not melted. It's just never going to reach the chain head because it's trying to run it's sort of fast hard drive, but it's still a hard drive. It's just not got enough IO. You can see where we've got a lot of IO weight, which is this red here. And yeah, I'm probably over my 3 minutes, but that's my project.
Okay, thank you. That's really impressive. Really great project. Do we have any questions from audience? Any feedback? Okay, thank you, Jim.
I don't have any question, but I think it's an amazing solution, and I probably need to go in details in these instructions he has online, and then I will have more questions. But thank you very much.
Yeah, I just shared a link to the repo to GitHub. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to, if anyone can explain kind of the relevance of any of the stats, or more importantly, the kind of the wider context, I really could do with being able to visualize this particular thing that's happening under the bonnet. Give me a shout, and I'm sure we can hook it up. I mean, there's quite a list of metrics being exposed by the Subspace node. A bunch that we kind of inherit from substrate libraries, but there's specific stuff to Subspace as well. If anyone has a particular request, give me a shout and I'll see if we can work it out.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's really impressive. Thank you, Jim. And we have 30 seconds to vote. Please go to the Google form and vote for a Big Jim project is the first one. Okay, our next presenter is Jonathan. I believe he's not here. Jim, maybe you can talk a little bit about Jonathan projects, because I know that you work together, and he also have link to the GitHub repo.
I must admit, I've opened it, but I haven't looked too closely at what's in there. So we've got a so if I check the Subspace Utils repository that Jonathan dropped, we've got an install and an uninstall script, which I haven't tried yet. I've kind of got a bit of a fetish for Docker and infrastructure as code myself, but I'm happy to try it out. I can spin up a VM and give it a try, but I don't. I'm afraid any comments I have would be unqualified. It looks great. If you're looking at the code, it looks like it's got all the right stuff in it, but I haven't tried to run it yet, I'm afraid. I think that Jonathan's plan eventually is we're gonna try and kind of meet up, and he's going to use the dashboard that I'm working on which will sit on a bare metal stack as well as a Docker stack, so that we're covering more angles. I think there's also opportunity where you can actually use a bridged host in Docker as well, so we can have bare metal components talking to Docker components as well. So you can, whichever way you can think of running these components, we should be able to come up with a way of doing that. I have spoken to Jonathan, and yeah, it looks good. I'll just yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great project too. Probably we'll discuss it at the engineering meeting. Maybe we will have someone from the Subspace team too. Yeah. Yeah, since we don't have a proper presentation, I think there is no wait maybe this time. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's a bomber mine. Please, Anton, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. It's hard to present or say anything after amazing Jim's presentation. I didn't claim my existing Russian language guides as my mini project. Instead of that, I would like to talk about my idea. My current idea, unfortunately, is not a mini project. But I would like to tell you why I think it's important for Subspace. Right now, there is no single entry point for monitoring network metrics and farmer health. The Polkadot wallet and Explorer is not user-friendly and is essentially a developer interface. Telemetry can't handle the load on the client side because of the need to constantly update a large number of lines on a single page. I think Subspace needs a single dashboard with important metrics on the main page and the ability to see the status of the farmers individually. I can take the Filecoin Explorer or one of the Cosmos Network Explorers as an example. on the main page, there is need to place important metrics such as current height, total number of farmers, average block time, latest block, and maybe a block reward. And there is need a single individual page on which farmers should be able to use the data of only his node. I prepare a simple draft of the pages and can show Filecoin Explorer. Wait a second. As I say earlier, this is a simple draft that shows you what I mean. I think all this will help the space to become an even more open network with the use of real-time metrics. It will get rid of a lot of questions from less technical users about the state of the farmer, provide a lot of data in one place to analyze the network capabilities. That's all.
Yeah, thank you, Bombermite. That's great. And regarding your user instruction, your manual, I think it's the most popular manual in our community. So that's really great. And I really like the search bar in your project. I think a lot of people, especially when right now we have more than 1,000 nodes, really hard to find your node in that list. So yeah, really great MVP. Thank you. Do we have any questions or feedback from audience?
Yeah, I did have a small piece of feedback. I think this project would work really well as an addition to Jim's project, because Jim's is more of the usage of your local machine, like what's the RAM usage, what's the CPU, what's the current state of synchronization, and I don't know, just basically machine load. And the Bombermine project is more of total overview of how many nodes there are, what is the total space, what is my place in terms of of the network, what's my probably percentage of the total space compared to the total space. Yeah, I think it's just it would be amazing to have these two kinds of dashboard, and I'd be really thrilled to see them alive going forward. Yeah. But thanks for the presentation.
Definitely. I think we need more community-led dashboards because Polkadot dashboard is not ideal solution. So yeah, that's really great to see. Great, we have 30 seconds to vote. Please go to the form and vote for a Bombermine project. Okay, the next project is from Electric Wizard. Unfortunately, he is not here, but he's also working on the dashboard, and he also have a link to the GitHub repo. He said that it's just an MVP, but feels like we have a lot of similar ideas here. So probably we'll have a meeting with all of us in one group with similar projects. Maybe we can do something great together. The next one is Beach Hall, I guess, with a script, please.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Dan. I'm from support team. Let's talk about my project. During previous Gemini test, we all have tried to help users with their problems in the chat. And I personally faced such problem that you have to ask a lot of questions and the same questions many times. And while we did it, the answer, the screenshots and the logs began to get lost in the general flow. Of course, threads in Discord sometimes help us to resolve this problem, but they doesn't help us to solve problem with the repeated questions. Therefore, I proposed my solution, if I can say so, and I hope it could be helpful. Somehow, this solution should speed up gathering and transfer this supplementary information to the support team, to support person, and helps to realize what's wrong on the node. My solution is a fairly simple script that collects basic information from the host and about installation, how it was done with systemd files, with the Docker files, or just the binary installation. And I guess I will try to demonstrate how it works. It will be better. 1 second. Right now, script hosted on the GitHub gist, and but I use script shortener link just to shorten link. We should just download this kind of script and just run. Of course, I guess many of us know that we can use it in as one-liner, but I guess it is not the best idea, because one moment you will see why. Because sometimes we could collect some personal data, and we are not sure that user want to post this data to us, for example, or to third-party services. That's why we ask him or her, should we done it or not? Firstly, we go through the negative case when person just say no, for example, or just wrong answer any. We write all this data to the file, and user can just open the file, check it if it is necessary, and provide it manually to the support person. And if we say, for example, yes, first script install all necessary dependencies and ask about it, but I'll decide I realized that I have to skip it because we don't have not so much time. And if we say yes, for example, we will see link to the report. 1 moment, window. I guess a lot of you used such services like a haste bin, paste bin. These services help us to transfer these logs and text information much faster and easier. It's the same services as it. I will go through the information. Firstly, go through the information which we collect. It's just some environment variables which contain the word subspace, because a lot of I went through the articles and guides, and a lot of them have some specific environment variables, and sometimes we have to collect this information to realize what problem is. We collect some system information. I understand now that in some cases it overlaps some info that collected by, for example, Gym solution, but I guess sometimes it's better than sometimes more information is better than have not enough information. I mean, we collect some information about host, about memory, about the current I/O, because sometimes users struggle with the problem with I/O limitations from service providers. We collect information about disk partitions, because sometimes people just add new volumes and can't properly configure it and struggle with problem with free space. If we detect Docker installation, we also collect some information about how, with which options container was run, about which version, which options, some port settings, host settings, mounted volumes, etc., and some logs from the containers, last several lines. I guess it's, of course, there is no example with the systemd script, but if we detect that there is a systemd installation, we get systemd status about this installation and data of systemd unit. Of course, right now it's more of a prototype than ready-made solution, and I hope that I can improve it during this stress test. And of course, it is not, if it doesn't go against the team ideas and visions. That's why I guess I hope it will be helpful. Thanks for your attention.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. That's really, really great. I think it's really impressive idea for support team, of course. Yeah, we have a comment for Jim.
One moment.
Yes, Mike, please go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Dan, first of all, thank you for that presentation. I think it's a great idea. Just to give a couple thoughts, like Jim had actually said something on the forum yesterday about a template for how we collect data, which is something we've been working on for a while. I think one of the actual interns of Subspace, Kevin Brian, was working on that originally. So having a specific amount of or specific things that you want to see, and then being able to use the script for users that are less technical to find it, I think would be great. And if we can just hone it to do that, by the time you get to the L2, like the engineers and stuff, we've already kind of found the data that is most important for them, that maybe they suspect is what's gonna, you know, mess up the script the most. And I also think that later down the line, this would be great to have behind the scenes of the GUI, where there's just a red button that says troubleshoot and your script can run, because the GUI doesn't really give a lot of information. So that was a really great presentation. And I'd just like to thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Yes, you are right about idea. And as said Jim, that's why I add this option that you can post on third-party services or not, because I also understand that there could be some legal problems. And yes, this option could be improved, or we can host. We can not use third-party services. We can host these services as a Subspace part. But I guess we will have feedback from the team, and maybe we will make better solutions together.
Okay, thank you, Dan. We'll have 30 seconds to vote. Please go to the Google form. Okay, the next one is Dmitry. Dmitry, please. You have...
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my idea of the project, it is a Telegram tutorial bot that helps farmers with low node runner experience to set up their nodes step by step. For the first version, it will be for English and Russian community mostly. So why it is good solution. Based on my Node runner experience, there are a lot of people which are going to participate in several test nets. And there are a lot of messages in support channels with several problems. The problems level can be different. It can be the very easy problems, such as command not found in Linux terminal, or the more harder problems with the logs and with the different situations. So the core idea is to create the Telegram bot that helps to set up your both of your nodes and fix several issues. Mostly at first, it can be the the general similar with the low difficulty issues for users with low experience. The main functions of functions of the bot is user-friendly nodes setup guide for all platforms and all the types of installation, including Docker, Windows, and Linux. It is the next function. It is the bot can provide the general information about Subspace in general, and about the farmer role and how to be a farmer. The core idea is support with several issues during the nodes installation. Also, this bot can collect information about hard efforts for future work with this effort. And bot also can will now for this time it can't, but in the near future it also will provide some recommendations how to operate of your nodes. So I will show my screen. At this time, it's not. It doesn't has all these functions. Just a second. I only made in time the first setup guide for Docker environment. So also you can check the frequently asked questions now is inactive, but I will also add information here. You can check the machine requirements for your nodes, and you can start to set up your nodes. Now I only added the information for the Docker installation. The setup consists of several guides of the several steps, from requirements and wallet installation to fully run your nodes. So all these steps provided with different advices, how to set up what wallet you should use, where can you find the link to the wallet, and for which wallet you should pick. Then you should install necessary tools, and I know that there are a lot of users that works with Ubuntu at first, and it's really hard to them to understand what is done, why he should use this command. So it is commands with comments, how to open and how to check your TCP ports, how to configure your environment. You should here is instruction for your wallet address, how to put your node name, how to pick Subspace release, where you can find it, which you should copy, and the final it is comments how to set up your Docker, your Docker compose file, and how to run it. Also, I will provide, I didn't make it in time, but I will provide the successful result screens. It's like what you should see after the success, or something like that. And it is for this demo version, it is only the setup guide, easy setup guide for user-friendly But in near future, I will also add the supporting idea for this bot to fix some issues with installation. So I think that's all according my project.
Okay, Dmitry, thank you. I can see a lot of hard work behind it. Thank you for a great presentation. Do we have any questions or feedback? Yeah, it's really looks amazing. Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, and yeah, I think with the then project, according the data collection, we can use the bot and the data collection, and it can be really cool thing. The data will help the bot to fix some issues, and the bot can collect more data in future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think we have a lot of ideas for collaborations here. Yeah, that's really great. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have 30 seconds to wait for a Dmitry idea for a Telegram bot. Oh, you're still sharing your screen so we can see.
I'm sorry.
No worries, that's fine. Yeah, here is a button, stop the, yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, okay, thank you, Dmitry. Up next is Oswi. Please go ahead.
Hey everyone, unfortunately Osvi's internet is down this morning, or this evening, sorry. So I will just share my screen with the video he has recorded, and I hope that Google Meets does support the audio, but let's give it a try.
Hello everyone, I'm Oswi, and now I would like to present to you my project support script. At the moment I'm collecting information and preparing the initial type of document, but in the project presentation table and here's in chat, you already can find a link to the document as is. If you have any suggestions for improving document, feel free to send me DM in Discord. And now let's take a look at what is it and how it works. First, why do we need them? Creating a script is a standard practice for support staff. As in real business, it will serve as to attract new users to the forum, since each answer in one form or another will contain a link to the forum topic in which the analysis and solution of a particular problem was made. The key measure that will improve the document is the speed of response to user. Even if you know the answer to the user's questions, typing messages and, for example, markdown editing will take up precious time for you and also take up the user's time. If you don't know the answer, the document will be an excellent support for current and future members of support team. So let's look what you need to do in more details. Actually, all you have to do is select keywords from the user's questions and use the document search. Under the spoiler, you will find a block of code contains the answer. If the answer was not found by you, you can use a special block for unanswered questions, which recommends the users to go to the forum and create a topic there, in which he will receive an answer within 48 hours. The block was not implemented by me yet, but it will be implemented in the near future, as this is one of the simplest part. Next, just click the copy button and paste copy text in response to the user's questions. The code block saves the editing of the message in Discord, including links to individual channels, blocks of code, and so on. But that's not all. I'm also a member of Let's Know team, a Russian-speaking community of node runners, and I provide informational support to Subspace. And I'm in the process of writing a simple guide for installation as Subspace Node and Farmer to attract more users and help existing ones. And that's it. Thank you for your attention. Since I cannot personally attend the meeting, I will ask you to ask your questions about the project in my DM. And have a good day, y'all.
Okay, thank you. That's great. Yeah, Osvi, one of the most active members in our community. He's helped like a lot of people in Russian chat and the general chat as well. So yeah, right now we have 30 seconds to wait for his project.
Yeah, and you can find the table on the Notion and in the link to the table with all of the questions in the list of the projects.
Yeah, I think Mike should take a look and support him as well.
Yeah, I'll make sure I take a look at that.
Yeah. Okay, great. Up next is Urali. Please, Urali.
Hi everyone, I want to present to you my one common system node installation guide for Ubuntu users. Why which one? Because I saw a lot of people during Gemini 1 who find it difficult to deal with the documentation and they themselves do not want to. This script helps to reduce the standard questions I have seen on Discord so many times. I would like to demonstrate the script in real time. When entering the command, we get to the menu in which we need to select the action we need. This is command, insert terminal, select item 1, enter the node name, enter wallet, and insert enter plot size. Next, automatically installs the node. For the convenience of user, the most necessary commands from my observation were also added to the script menu, namely restart item 2, logs node, logs farmer. Example, logs node now is not synchronization. Logs farmer. And searching logs, searching farmer logs. Enter keyword or phrase to search example version. Results. And command wipe farmer and pure chain item 7. Also, all additional commands are described in more detail in instruction, teletype, information, and additional information, how can install updates, need to restart the node and farmer, what is no logs node and farmer. This is command in the script menu. There is item 3 and 4, but you can also not use the script menu, but enter a command. And add in scripts delete node item 8. Now node is deleting. If you have any questions or suggestions, please write to the chat. It's hard for me with English, sorry.
Thank you, Yuri. That was really great. And your English is great, so no worries about it. Yeah, user interface is really friendly. So we have questions from Anna. If you have any difficulty with English, you can just type the answer in the box chat.
So 1 second. I will update the script and indicate in the guide which version is currently used in it. You just need to run the script and execute one menu item as you did during the first installation.
Okay, great. And we also have questions from Ivan. Ivan, please.
Yes, this is a really great idea. We really need such a guide in the official documentation because it is very easy for users.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Yuri. Yeah, we have a lot of comments and questions. And right now we will have 30 seconds to wait for your project. Thank you. That was really great presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, up next, Near Naive. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. First of all, sorry for my voice. I am sick a little bit. It might be voice terrible to you. I hope you can understand me. My project is running Subspace node on Ubuntu using Docker. I did that because, especially in my country, in Turkish community, too many people wants to see visual content rather than written documentary. So I created a video, and too many Turkish people does not aware a Docker version exists. They do not even know we can run Subspace node via Docker. So and I also saw that too many projects, engineering projects, built on Docker. So maybe we can gather many people with Docker, and so supporting them will be much more easy, I think. So I created because of that. Let me show you my screen and let's look at briefly to my video. Sorry. So you can you see my video?
Yeah.
Okay. So I started to show how to install Docker on an Ubuntu machine. First, I show that, and after I just dive into because my microphone was crack. My voice was too noisy on the videos. I used text supplied. I supplied my video with text in order to show what am I doing right now in the video. So after Docker installation, I just create our Docker Compose template on the machine. And after creating it, I supplied the necessary informations such snapshot date, plot size, and wallet address example, etc. So after entering necessary information to the config file, I just simply run it. Let me pass this on. I try to make it as simple and as short as possible to not bore people while installing the Subspace node. So after running, our node simply started to run when we enter the log command. We see that it started to run. And at the end of the video, I just show how to open ports for Ubuntu firewall, and then finished with that. So that's all, people. Thank you for listening to me.
Yeah, thank you. That's really great video. I saw that on YouTube, and it's really helpful and thoughtful of you to talk about Docker in the first place. So yeah, thank you. Any questions or feedback? Okay, so we'll have a few seconds to wait. Please go to the Google form. Okay, up next is Saipo. Vasily, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I would like to present my video guide. I added a link to the video in the comment. Description contains time codes. I tried to show in detail the installation process step by step. It contains such moment as installing a wallet, choosing a device for farming, installing on Windows and Ubuntu operation system. It should help new members to join farming and make this process very simple. This video is very detailing and long in time. I won't show it full. We can watch it later. This video also contains comments what may help for non-Russian speakers. It's all. Thank you for attention.
Yeah, thank you, Vasily. Thank you for your constant support to our users. And yeah, this video really detailed and also including how to create a wallet. So we have a lot of questions about that, especially in Russian community. So I really appreciate that you covered that. Do we have any questions or feedback? Okay, let's go to the voting then. And up next is Artyom. Artyom, please go ahead.
Hi everyone. And 1 second. Second. See my presentation.
Yeah, I can see it.
My name is Artyom. I'm 17. I'm from Russia, originally from the city of Vladimir. I have now moved to Moscow because I entered the university. I've been interested in crypto industry for a little more than a year. Let's go down to my project. When I was an ordinary member of the community, I noticed that there are a lot of videos on YouTube of AMS sessions, interviews with Jeremiah and Nazar, a lot of recordings of engineering team call. There are a lot of thoughts and arguments in these videos, but there are no separated filmed clips that described in detail aspects of the subspace network, such as the consensus of the network, its scalability, descriptions of how to project ignores and it does not obey the blockchain dilemma, and many other topics. I also want to note that the node of the project, this was my first node that I launched. I found the official guide on GitHub, but I didn't understand how to use it, so I launched the node according to the guide, which describes in very step-by-step what commands need to be set for the node to work successfully. Based on the problems, I propose to create a series of videos that will be posted in YouTube. You can create 2 playlists in the official channel of the project. The first one will contain the so-called engineering videos. These videos will show which commands you need to insert into the command line, which application to use to launch the node. That is this a step-by-step video guide for installing the node. Also, in the description of the video, there will be a text instruction that will copy the words spoken by the speaker, plus contain commands to launch the node so that users can quickly copy the commands and paste them into the command line. The second playlist contains informational videos. In these videos, the speaker will talk in detail about important aspects on Subspace. For example, a story about the project's concepts, what problems the projects solves, a description of the network consensus, how vertical and horizontal scalability works, how networks security is maintained, and others. Topics. Each informational video will contain a presentation on the topic that covered in the video. Engineering and informational videos will be realized in languages that are popular among Discord users. These are English, Chinese, Russian, and other popular languages of the community. By recording such an informational video, you can go to it by scanning the QR code, in which I touch on such things as the concepts of the projects and exploitation of the work of the network consensus, how vertical and horizontal scalability is implemented, as a source of information for the video, I use technical documentations, articles about Jeremiah, AMA sessions. Also, my video is accompanied by a presentation that I have prepared. Unfortunately, the video is in Russian, so not all of you will understand its content. The release of engineering and informational videos firstly will increase the audience of the project. Secondly, the video guide for installing the node will increase the number of farmers. And 30 users who want to learn more about the project will be able to dive into Subspace. While studying the Ambassador Program course, I encountered the difference of translating many technical words from English into Russian. I had to read a lot of editation information to understand the meanings of words. Therefore, I have prepared the translation of Jeremiah's articles, translations of presentation about blockchain, and translation about Subspace compatibility with other projects. You can go to Google Disk by QR code to see the translations. I also attached the translations to Notion in the education plan. Translation will allow new students of Ambassador who speak Russian to better understand the information. Now I will send a link to my video. You can watch it. Thank you for attention. I am ready to listen your question.
Thank you, Artem. That's a really great presentation. And yeah, you put a lot of hard work into this. And we had several meetings about your presentation. So really appreciate the result. That's really great. Do we have any questions or yeah, content design is really great. Are you major in design? Yeah, thank you for a link. Yeah, we have a few comments. Yeah, very good indeed. Okay. Yeah, you're still sharing your screen, I think. Yeah, nice design. Yeah. Yeah, really good feedback from audience. And now we go into the Google form to vote for Artem's project. Okay. Up next is this give documentation in Chinese. Not really sure that he's here today. Yeah, I just got a message from him. He has some urgent family matters. So yeah, unfortunately he's not here. And so yeah, the next is Sam with African Community for Subspace.
Hello everyone. Am I being heard?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Samuel. I'm speaking from Nigeria. I've been working on trying to create a community of young African developers to also be part of what is happening at Subspace Network. You know, over here in Africa, we are trying to adopt crypto in a faster way. And also, Subspace shouldn't be left out of the space. People should adopt Subspace Network. And I had to do that because I can do content, I could create videos and write articles, but a lot of ambassadors are doing stuff up to that level. So I just wanted to do let there be a community where persons could actually get to know what is happening and also be participants in the upcoming Gemini incentivized testnet, which is very, very important. So I had to do this with the help of Ambassador Kumzi. Kumzi was my mentor, and he also gave me a lot of feedback and he is into running nodes. He runs a lot of node. In fact, he assisted me when I wanted to run my own node and gave me an opportunity to read up how I could rent a server to run my node, because over here in Africa we have our own challenge, electricity challenge and the rest. But when you rent a server, things get easy. So I had to bring those ideas down to the developing team to set up that community. It's just it's for developers, people that are going to be part of the system, to run the nodes and also get incentivized. And also that was what I proposed, and that is what I'm also doing. And also and I've discovered that for the ambassadorial people that want to get into the ambassadorial job, they do a lot of activities, graphics, videos, Twitter trends, and the rest of the thing, even when we want to get into our own ambassadorial during our own time. So I discovered that there could be specific hashtags that could be used. Not all. I wrote that down in my educational in the educational content when I proposed specific hashtag that could be used ahead of the Gemini testnet, so that members of the public can know like these 5 or 4 hashtags is what Subspace is using to spread information about Gemini testnet coming up. So I proposed those hashtags in the Notion sites, and I wrote it down that it could help to spread information, rightful information. If someone is doing a Twitter trend, there should be 4 specific or 5 hashtags that could help. If someone is doing a video, when a person is bringing it to the media, there should be specific hashtag that could help and not random hashtagging. So those hashtags could actually be of great marketing value to the Subspace marketing team to an extent. If they know, that is what make other projects are also doing in the crypto space. They don't use any hashtag, they use specific hashtag. And also that was actually plans to what I have in plans to do, and that is what I'm doing for Subspace Network.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I'm already in your African community, and that's really great that you run it with Kimsey, who is also in Nigeria. And also, Sam created a really great video about Subspace earlier with an animation. So maybe we can share it later. Yeah. Thank you for initiative to run African community for Subspace. And if you don't have any questions or feedback, we can go to the void. Okay, up next is Nakaturk.
Hello everyone, I am Nakaturk from Turkey. I have been interested in cryptos for more than 5 years and in testnets for the last 2 years. I turned to this field because it is a technical way to get acquainted with projects. That's how I met Subspace and have opened the Telegram Turkey channel. I have been managing it for more than 11 months. I have also been a moderator on the Discord for a long time. Apart from this, I have published videos and guides related to running nodes in all tests performed. I have helped a lot of people from the Telegram channel on Discord. I also had many shares on Twitter and my own Telegram channel. I will continue to contribute Subspace in this way. That's all I have to say. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Nakaturk. He was with us from very beginning, and he's an influencer in Turkey, and he's responsible to have to help us to have so much people from Turkey participating in the testnet and Gemini phase 2 and 1, phase 1 and phase 2 in the future. So thank you for all hard work. I know that support for so much time is really exhausting. So thank you, Nakaturk.
Thank you, Nina.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have any questions and feedback, let's go to the void. And next is Skylar.
Hello, 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 everyone.
Hi.
GMNA. Good morning, good night, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Let me just get my screen pulled up real quick.
Wow. Yeah, we can see that.
All right, great. So I'm Skylar, also known as Skylar8FK on Discord. You might have seen me around. I'm a former team member at Subspace and a longtime farming enthusiast. So today I'm going to present my project, which is the Subspace Community Twitter account. So here's what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over the goal of the account, what content will be on the account, what approach we'll take to the account, potential names, what progress there is already, and the reasons you should vote for this project. So the goal of the account is to attract new members to the Subspace community, also to educate and encourage intellectual conversations between community members about technology and not about speculation or any other things that a lot of other communities talk about. The goal is also to lift up our top community contributors and set a good example for prospective ambassadors for how is a good way to create content for the Subspace community. Also, goal is to spend less than 4 hours a week for anybody who would like to contribute to the Subspace Twitter account. For this step, we need to know what the priorities of Subspace marketing are so we can have a more clear goal for how we will add content to the account and how we will approach the new messaging from Subspace. So I was asked, what type of content will we put on this Twitter account? I have a few ideas. The first one that I think can be done over time and very simply and repeatably are these educational threads on topics about Subspace, such as proof of capacity, the farmer's dilemma, free to shard. There's several other topics that we can use for those. We can also have more fun content like meme, art, or articles of the week, community member of the week. I also think that the engineering videos would benefit from some type of summaries. So that was one of the other projects that we were exploring. That's an idea, as well as Subspace or other crypto news. For the content, we need some type of members, some amount of members to volunteer from or for the content team. And those members would be making weekly contributions to the Twitter account. Why you should do this is to be recognized for your work and to grow a personal brand as a Subspace thought leader. How will we approach the account? So the content team would be the main contributors because those are people that we trust in Subspace. They have the best knowledge. But I also think it would be worthwhile to put out some type of bounties for certain topics to anyone in the community to contribute to. Because I just know from seeing in the chat that there are talented graphic artists and writers out there. So I think if they would like to contribute, why not? Within the content, I think it'd be very important and very incentivizing for people if we credit the members who contribute to the content. So say we have a full educational thread. On the last tweet or two, we'd say thank you to so-and-so for making the graphics, thank you to so-and-so for doing the research, and somebody else for writing, for example. A key part of this approach, how we would gain followers, at least at the start, to gain some type of momentum, is to retweet the best of the content to the network Subspace Twitter. I have spoken briefly with Yewan about this, but haven't gotten any solid feedback, but I'm positive about what we'll see there. So we need that, and then more clear guidelines for what type of content, and then to recruit creators for the account. So a lot of different things we can call the name. Have some ideas for what the Twitter handle would be, what the name for the account would be. For Twitter handles, we got Club Subspace, Hub Subspace. We could do the Subspacer kind of like a newspaper, or we could literally have a call to action in the Twitter handle, Farm Subspace. Then we have different names and such. And this is my favorite combo, but this is something that we could vote on down the line. I already put together my favorite in a preview with some progress so we can see what the account would look like right now. So this was my favorite organization of it. This was made by a community member a while back. We have at Club Subspace. The name is the SSC community. And then our bio is supporting our 4G, fourth generation community, memes, threads, news, and more. And then I thought it would be cool to have some type of application where if you want to write or make content, you can submit an application. So that is the progress. And my final slide, vote for me. This is the project. So if you vote for me, the next steps would be to vote on names for the account, recruit writers and graphic designers, and then start creating content. It'd mean a lot if you voted an 8, 9, or 10 for me, because I think this would be a very beneficial project to expand the Subspace community. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you, Skylar. That's great.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I just speechless. I think it's really a great presentation and idea overall. Yeah, we have a lot of feedback in the chat.
Oh, great.
Yeah, definitely great pitch. Okay.
I like it. Thank you very much. I'll think about this, guys.
I personally like the Subspacer. I think it's great, like a new paper. That's great. Okay, yeah, I think we can go to the form and vote for Skylar. Okay, up next is Yura with a different type of activities for community. Yura, you muted.
Hello.
Oh, great. Hi.
Hello, everybody. I want to tell you about my 2 projects. The first project about contest in Discord. The idea of the project is to increase the activity of the community in Discord. For this, I propose to hold various contests. For example, creating of arts, such as the also memes. I show such examples of I also memes. I show such example of memes and infographics. For example, the infographics competition. People make interesting and creative infographics for the projects. Here are example for the Subspace project. I described this in more details in my article. Many people use this method to interested people and increase activity. And the second project is an article about the blockchain trilemma. I have seen a lot of different information about the trilemma and decided to collect all the information in one article. I also used different examples, add pictures, and wrote the article so that the information was interesting and easy to understand. Thanks you for attention.
Thank you, Yura. That's really great ideas about the different type of contest. I think there is some potential for collaboration with Skylar and some other community members who also proposed a lot of ideas about it. Yeah, definitely. And we also really, I think right now we maybe around phase 2, we'll be ready to actually have some really great contest with our community. Probably first will be around design, but we can discuss it later, maybe in our engagement group. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your presentation. Do we have any questions for audience? Okay, let's go to the Google form and vote for Yuri. Contents and activities for Subspace. Okay, up next is Furry, content task system. Can see him here. Yeah, unfortunately he is not here. But his idea is to create like a content, like a table with different tasks, and it's also related to Twitter. So he's proposing a table with different tasks, like retweet or maybe create some content about Subspace. Unfortunately, that's all I got from him, from his idea. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not here. And next is Crazy Money with translations to Vietnamese. Yeah, probably it's not a great time in Vietnam right now. I mean, it's really, really late. So I'm curious about Hon Vu. He's also from Vietnam. I can't see him either here. Yeah, that's really sad because both of them really contributed in the Vietnamese community with translations of website and different articles and instructions. Okay, and the last but not least is BitDealer with unofficial Russian blog with translations into Russian. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Maxim. I did some personal research and found that the KISS communities makes up 55% to 75% of the total. I created the Russian Medium channel for the KISS communities because not everyone understands English well, and especially the special terms that are used, such as plotting, farmer, and others. The goal of the project is to increase presence by providing content in the native language. This way, we show the project intent to expand to all regions where our communities is present. And I also want to offer a series of posts about what is a subspace, what are the problems now in Web 30.0, and how does Subspace solve them. The idea is to describe this vision with real-world examples and problems. I already created a similar series of posts for the Aleo project. You can see it on my screen now. This is 1, this is 2, and 3, and 4. The task is to explain in simple words what is subspace and why subspace is so important for the crypto industry. I think this is exactly the kind of stuff that is missing from Subspace blog right now. That's all. Thank you for your attention. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you for translations for Russian community. Yeah, I know there's some really big problems with English content. So I really I mean we do not have any official translations right now. So really appreciate that you translate almost everything. I mean from our medium. So that's really great.
It's so difficult.
Yeah, I know. Some words just can translate, right? yeah, thank you. Thank you for your project. I think we don't have any questions or feedback, so we can go to the form and wait for a Pete Taylor project. And this time we can click submit. Yeah, fortunately, we can vote on the project that have not been presented because part of the score is also the presentation. So unfortunately, yeah. But we had a video with a presentation, so we can definitely vote for that project. Yeah, yeah. So I can see your responses here. That's really great. And I'll be back with results maybe in a few minutes, right after this meeting. And thank you everyone for a great project. That's really, really great to hear. I'm thrilled with a result of our educational plan. And yeah, a lot of impressive projects. I'm really happy. Thank you for all your hard work. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you everyone. That has been very impressive. What a lot of you have done, and you know, it's getting me super excited for what is to come. And I think, like, you know, as you might notice, like some of the projects might overlap a little bit. So I guess going forward, you know, to make this you know, more collaborative process, right? And maybe even, like, you know, avoiding a lot of reworking. We might start like some committees, right? Like or like, you know, specific like task groups that might then, you know, tackle together similar like challenges or, you know, or like objectives, right? Of course, that's more to help, you know, the group and not to force anyone to, you know, have to join. Of course, if you're not leading your own project. But yeah, again, it's been amazing and super impressive. So, you know, kudos to everyone here for all the efforts you're putting.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you next week at the community call.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye. Have a nice
Take
day.
care.
Bye.
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 Thank you.